Okay, so are we like rolling, as in like rolling the interview, right? So I guess then I guess we have started the interview now.
Yes, sir.
So we made it this far, uh, and our DOP Vikram has given us the permission to get started, and it's beautiful. First of all, it's amazing that within a matter of days, you figured out a way to come to Jodhpur from Ahmedabad
That's right.
and get seriously involved with everything that we are doing in this project and
Yeah.
SpiceTech.
Yeah.
And so I think I really appreciate that you are here, Shwetang. It's been magical to have you here in physical presence with me and
Thank you
be a
so
part
much.
of this project. So first of all, thank you so much for making it all the way to Jodhpur from Ahmedabad.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's been a swell time. It's been a great time, and to catch up with you and just you're doing this Gatekeeper edition. I'm all about it. I'm all about the Gatekeeper.
Yeah, so I guess, some context here. We just welcomed SpiceTech, our entity, a friendly entity, to planet Earth yesterday, 2 days ago.
Two
Literally
days
two
ago,
days ago.
literally 2 days ago, we are welcoming a newborn baby.
Yeah.
So the Gatekeeper is very apt, I think.
Yeah, the term gatekeeper for us, I think, is definitely very apt. We were there when it happened,
Yeah.
and it's been a privilege as well as an honor to have you as one of the gatekeepers.
Thank you so much.
There will be more, I'm positive. But at
Fantastic,
the
Ashish.
moment, this is brunch with the gatekeepers because we welcome SpiceTech, the entity, with open arms. And so there is definitely so much to talk about today. So I don't even know where to start. But in our previous discussion, I guess let's catch up, man. Like, so what have you been up to? Like,
Man,
it's been a while since we've last met in real life. Yeah.
so first of all, I'm just puzzled to be here because the last time we caught up, it was 2 years ago, I believe, or even more than that. Even you maybe like 4 years and something. And I remember you coming to Boston from Los Angeles, and you were coming there for 15 months. Every week you were coming there, and you had a crazy East Coast versus West Coast schedule.
Yeah, that was the
So
one time that I realized how it is to be George Clooney from the film Up in the Air,
well, yeah,
taking flights back and forth between Los Angeles and Boston. I mean, it can be glorified. There were parts of it which can be glorified
yeah,
and should be glorified.
yeah.
But parts of it was just pain in the neck for personally for me. But my highlights outside of the work that I was doing, honestly speaking, my highlights for that time outside of work was hanging out with you and Gary when you were students at the Berklee School of Music. So tell me more about that journey. How did it start for you?
And that journey has also always been incredible for me. I just get to share it with my folks, my friends. That journey just started back in 2012. So right after my graduation from the high school, I decided to go pursue a career in music, and I just arrived at Berklee College of Music in Boston. I had to prepare, obviously. I had to give interviews, audition, and most of all, just learn the art form, the blues. So it's been a positive experience. 4 years of college at Berklee. I've been very grateful for that, and just met some amazing people. So more than the experience of the college and learning, it's just meeting amazing people worldwide, and then catching up. Yeah, so catching up with them after 5, 6 years or 7 years, anywhere in the world. So it's been amazing.
So I guess, yeah, I guess that's definitely interesting. The fact that you grew up in Ahmedabad,
I
did
grew
you?
up in
Right?
Ahmedabad city. Yeah,
And so you decided that you wanted to go study music, and
yeah.
specifically you were majoring in guitar, I believe,
Your
right?
guitar performance.
Okay.
So that was my major. Yeah.
And within guitar performance arts, as a guitarist, majoring in guitar in at the Berklee School, you were focused on blues
Yes.
from the beginning.
Yes.
So tell me more about your interest in blues and how did you get into blues specifically?
When my interest in the blues, so the first time I heard people like B.B. King, Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix, it just did it for me, man. It was like a chemical reaction in my brain, and it was just I was hooked to that music. It was gonna be a So I had so I you joke about this thing, with my friends, and the joke is the first time I listened to Eric Clapton, I was lifetime subscription on the blues music or something, and it's been an amazing journey. And blues is not just a way of music, but it's a way of life. It's about the human condition, and it's been an amazing music. And just you're learning about all these guitar players and their struggle, and the Black history. It's been really enlightening, and blues, yeah, it has helped me a lot in life.
fascinating. So someone from Ahmedabad, I guess, thanks to, I would say, internet, I guess, to some
The
extent.
internet, yeah, obviously the internet.
You got exposure to artists like Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix, B.B. King, and that was a lifetime subscription to blues from that day
Lifetime
onwards.
subscription. So I joke about this, huh? I joke about this. But yeah, man. So I heard that you've been working on some amazing projects, and I've been hearing about SpiceTech. So let's take a minute and please tell me about SpiceTech. So what is this company all about?
So that's definitely something that has kept me busy since we last met.
Yeah.
Boston was a different time. I was working at a company called Ernst & Young,
Yeah.
also known as EY, which is essentially like a management consulting firm. And my life was making systems for very meaningful use cases. And it was something that really helped me just learn how to be professional, to be honest. Like, out of college, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I did have this desire of getting a job that would give me exposure to different places, like the idea of traveling.
Idea of travel.
So that's how our paths crossed, because I was
traveling.
I was on a project in Boston, and it gave me the opportunity to explore a new city, its culture, its art scene. Thanks to you guys being there, it all became very simpler.
Yeah.
But my journey after that was very focused on trying to find ways to make creative projects.
Yeah.
Right. And so back in 2016 in Los Angeles, thanks to my close friends, especially my co-founder, I got exposure to working at a VR gaming company called Servios,
Yes,
right? And
Servios.
I'd love to tell you more about Servios at some point.
Yeah.
But that was basically the beginning of me starting to actually take actions which would put me in a position to be able to manifest any kind of creative technology,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And my interest in storytelling grew from there. The interest in technology was always there, but I was really fascinated by the idea of using technology and telling stories, and that intersection of art and technology, has always been fascinating.
Yeah.
And one thing led to another. The experience in working at a VR gaming company was useful in ending up at Fox Sports, which is where I got exposure to what it really means to work on high production projects, multi-million-dollar projects, and working with hundreds of people together, aligned on a singular vision to get something done, and just the focus and the discipline that's needed to be able to do that. And all of that now has inspired me to build the courage to be able to do something of my own. And it's not just, my own thing, but essentially it's like a collective vision that you can execute with like-minded people like yourself, who are my friends, who are my bros, right?
Yes, yes.
And being able to commit to a journey to be able to manifest something that's collectively in our vision. And that's basically SpiceTech. It's in creative ways, or in like more fun ways, I just like to call it a dream engine.
A dream
It's
engine.
like, we all have dreams.
Yeah.
And it would be great if our paths and our dreams can align in a way that we all work hard towards manifesting our collective dreams. And so essentially today, it's a creative technology studio and a film production company, right? Because that's basically what is helping this company sustain itself and have a path towards manifesting a vision, right? And so based on everybody's availabilities and their skill sets, what's feasible today and what's possible today is producing music, making small prototypes of technology products, and obviously films, right? And the one concrete idea that a lot of people are aligned on right now is the film project, Feel the Flow.
Yeah. I keep hearing about the film project, and I keep hearing about the hashtags, Feel the flow, hashtag keep it spicy. So could you just tell us about the film project and
Sure.
journey?
Feel the Flow as a hashtag is basically sharing this idea of using arts and entrepreneurship to truly and completely express yourself. And it's always a journey for any individual, right, to figure out who they are and what do they want to express to the world, which is samvedansheel, sweekar karne yogya, acceptable by all those things, right?
Okay.
And it's tough to do, man, right? And so the attempt here is that we encourage people to discover themselves through this film project, like all the artists that have
Yeah.
crossed paths with me
Yeah.
on this journey.
Yeah.
A lot of them are starting out, a lot of them are established, but
Yes.
everybody has their own artist struggle to overcome.
True.
Right?
Very true.
And it's a privilege and an honor and a great opportunity for this entire film team
Yeah.
to be able to document our journey as we manifest this film and
Yes.
and really share with the audience what it really takes to enterprise, what it takes to express yourself as an artist, explore the very nature of what is the role of art in life and how it can work as therapy. These are all things that I am realizing and learning through various synchronicities as we film this, right? And then being able to talk about these with the world, I believe is art worthy of attention, and I think is the right kind of motivation for anyone to go on their own artistic and entrepreneurial journeys.
Yes.
So that's what really the film is about, is to how all these people, all these artists who have crossed paths with me on this journey of manifesting Feel the Flow, SpiceTech's first feature-length documentary, how how they overcome their own artist struggle, how they philosophize and use those philosophies to make decisions, to be able to stay inspired,
Yes.
to go after. Like a lot of these projects take years, man. Like your album, for example. Like how long have you been working on that?
I've been working on my album for about 5 years now, and it started in New York City.
Yeah.
And it's so true, like what you said. You know, it's so relatable because as an artist and a musician myself, I just feel that we have to take long periods of time to really perfect our craft. We have to take extended time. And sometimes we have to stop working on the craft in between, and that's when you grow the most. Sometimes, you know. So the album process has been around for 5 years. 2017 Medicine. So that's the
Name of the album? 2017 Madison.
2017 Medicine, the name of the album, and some interesting things to come. Some interesting things.
So I guess that's one of the major inspirations behind this film is anyone who is looking to get on their artistic journey, if we can give them a glimpse into that process of how long it can sometimes be,
Yeah.
the kind of commitment it requires,
It's painful.
is all of that is painful, and it definitely is painful.
Yeah.
And if the film can highlight and bring attention to,
Sir.
although a known concept, I suppose, but
Yeah.
still worthy of attention, is that
Absolutely.
if you can see or feel God in pain throughout this process and stay inspired,
Yeah.
then anything is possible.
Yeah.
It's the power of your will,
Power of your will.
manifesting dreams that you really believe in.
Yeah.
And that is something that I believe is great motivation for anyone in life. Because if we are inspired to manifest big visions, there's always something positive to look forward to,
Yeah.
and possibly could lead to a very long and fulfilling life.
So that makes me want to come to my second question. After that, it's so do you think the power of community is important in creating all these important things? And if so, what's the relevance of power of the community in SpiceTech firm?
It's everything. It's at the core of everything we do. And the realization of the power of community, personally for me, has come much late in life.
Yes.
It translates to, I guess, me maturing much later in life.
You're always a team
Yeah.
player.
So it's everything, right? It's if we don't have people to play with when we are doing something like a film project or an album, we don't learn, we don't get the right criticism we need to work on ourselves. It's a spiritual journey to believe in others and trust others to be able to pull through.
Yeah.
And so the fact that you're here from Ahmedabad and you committing to this, I mean, none of this is possible without the power of community. We've got like one of our close friends holding a boom mic right now. It takes effort, like, having
He's an incredible
people-
guy.
Vikram behind the camera right now, and it's just all part of that artistic creation at the end. It requires so much effort. It takes a village, like we were talking about earlier. It takes a village to
Raise a kid.
raise a kid,
Yeah.
right? So SpiceTech, in a way, is our kid, and we're taking the pains that we need to be able to do what we want to do.
I mean, to sustain our team, we definitely need multiple villages. That's for sure.
Multiple villages,
Yeah.
SpiceTech villages sounds like a promising idea. For sure.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, apart from the film, so what are the short-term and the long-term goals of the company? If you may just get into it.
Sure, great question. Quick time check. We're good on time, 20 minutes, all that stuff. Okay. So, short term, long term goals.
Yeah.
Very important question to think about right now.
Yes, sir.
And also a very difficult question to answer.
Yeah.
And like, I can only speak on the behalf of the rest of the team. And everybody is shaping this vision together as we move forward.
Definitely.
And it's like, SpiceTech, the entity, asking itself, who is it and what it wants to be,
Yeah.
right? And so at the moment, the short-term goal, the focus is very clear. We want to make this film, which is inspired by the concept of overcoming the artist struggle. And all the energies of people within this company at the moment are focused towards raising enough money to sustain this team next year,
Okay,
to be able to
wow.
get to final cut,
Wow.
right? And that, I believe, is going to be the first offering from SpiceTech to the world, is this film called Feel the Flow.
Feel the flow.
And so it not only captures that essence of what it means to be an artist, what it means to express yourself as an artist, and the journey and the struggle that comes with it, but it's also like secretly a desire that I have to immerse people in the unbridled creative expression that LA gave me exposure to. Right?
Unbridled creative expression.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? The unbridled creative expression.
It's like when I was there, the kind of people that you talk about power of community, right?
Yes, sir.
So, being, and it's very similar to, I guess, what you picked up at Berklee School of Music when
Oh,
you were
yeah.
there.
Oh,
People
yeah.
from all around the world,
All around
just
the world.
chasing after their creative potential, right?
Yeah.
And so you get, on one hand, it's scary because you see people working so hard and being so cutthroat at times and intense about what they want to achieve. But at the same time, it's inspiring. It's like, even this is possible. Someone can dare to dream to make a VR gaming company, right? Circa
Yeah.
2013, 2014, like Nate Burba, who's going to be in this film, has done with his team. So coming across people like them made me think more about who I am, who I want to be, and really push for finding those answers and doing something, right? And yeah, I mean, it's important to have a work-life balance, but LA for me in my 20s was just getting exposure to all these amazing people. Like Della Moon is one of the musicians whose music is going to be in the film. Chief Chesta, they represent the underground electronic music scene in LA, and it's got its own energy and it's got its own like ethos and pathos and just being immersed into their journeys as artists and like artists emerging from that scene and the kind of effort and passion they had to do what they want to do. All these people in the film, right? So the film is definitely an opportunity to immerse people into that environment, and I believe that it's going to help us achieve the long-term goal of encouraging people to pick up many art forms and express themselves and figure themselves out through art. So yeah, that's the long. I took a bit of a tangent there, but that is the short-term focus: is to make the best possible final cut that we can.
Yes, sir.
And then us as a team getting the opportunity to take it to as many film festivals where we get the opportunity to go and talk about the film and talk about our hard work that went into making this film and building a bit of a community that's going to guide us for the long-term aspiration. So at least short-term, raise money to be able to make the final cut and then give it everything we have to get to a final cut that is worthy of people's attention.
Wow, wow. So those are some amazing goals. I mean, so do you want to talk something about the long-term aspirations of SpiceTech?
Yeah, I think there was one. It's worthy of discussing long-term aspirations for SpiceTech for sure. Although it's very difficult to decide what it exactly is going to be beyond a creative technology studio and a film production company at the moment, because it's obviously a collective decision of everybody in the team and what they are willing to commit to, what's feasible, and all those things. But at the moment, the company is essentially aligned on three major pillars.
Okay.
Right. So it's art, technology, and nature.
Okay.
So the philosophy here being that under the art umbrella of the company, we want to make things like music, films,
Yeah.
or
You feel the flow.
Feel the Flow is an example.
Yeah.
All the music you're making is an example.
Yeah.
But it's it's an art not just for entertainment, but it's got a deeper intention behind it,
Yeah.
as promoting the idea of art as therapy, as a healing device,
Yeah.
And also encouraging people to discover themselves, parts of themselves that they never knew,
Yeah.
gain confidence by expressing themselves through art, and also promoting this culture.
Yeah.
So under this umbrella, we can do so many things.
In the art umbrella.
Yeah,
Yeah.
make films, make music.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe SpiceTech tomorrow it's going to have its own filmmaking entity, its own music label, record label. All you guys make amazing music, so
We need to be represented.
yeah, and it's like us learning about the business side of these things so that we can sustain these dreams and always stay inspired. So that's essentially the art pillar. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes. But the filmmaking arm definitely looks very promising with Feel the Flow and all the music we have.
Music. Fantastic.
For the technology pillar, a lot of us are technologists by background, right? So many engineers turned musicians and artists, and so
It's integral.
yeah, and so we want to take technology very seriously, and really think about end products or user experiences that can be made through technology that promote the idea of being human first, right? Always that, I believe, should be, at least in my opinion, should be the philosophy that should guide technology product development at SpiceTech, is to ensure that they're human first and not becoming slaves to the machines. It's like a very dystopian way to say this, but essentially what I mean is like use cases like holographic telepresence, for example, as part of spatial internet technologies that SpiceTech aspires to build, or tools within the spatial internet that we aspire to build. It's meant to connect people across the globe in ways that has not been possible so far, right? So that's a human way, in my eyes, to make technology products that are creative and also useful for someone.
Fantastic.
So that's the idea behind the technology arm, and it could just manifest itself in so many other ways that it's not fair for me to just give any very concrete examples, although there is no shortage of any.
Or to categorize, or to categorize, because it can be anything.
It can be anything. There's so many ideas within the team, making something as simple as an electronic music synthesizer to encourage people to get into electronic music, guitar pedals, AI music creation tools. And so it's every young company struggles with focus. So it's not fair for me to give concrete examples at the moment, but all of these use cases or products within technology are promoting collaboration, co-creation on the internet like never before.
Fantastic.
Right?
Wow.
And so that's the technology arm. And then finally, nature. Me in my 20s, as we become more wise about the world we live in, and gain more understanding about how we can actually spread a culture that promotes sustainable living, a lifestyle that promotes the idea of taking care of the nature. I mean, pandemic has been a great example of how the environment
completely flipped and changed, and we just became more creative.
And it's all interconnected, right?
It is.
How you treat nature, how it treats you back with inspiration, and so. A few concrete examples under this vision, if you ask me again, like I don't want to speak on everybody else's behalf. But like under the nature pillar for SpiceTech, for me, this idea of supporting this vision in any shape or form, and it may sound like a billion-dollar industry, but somehow SpiceTech figuring out a way to contribute to that billion-dollar industry is that, imagine a smart community that's maybe suburban, and you have young people who maybe just get married and they want to buy their first house, and they just have just enough down payment to invest in something, but they don't want to get involved in like a 30-year mortgage.
I know.
And for them, creating this opportunity of investing in a property that they could call home, and with this motivation of say no to 30-year mortgage, but that community also being equipped by sustainable ways of creating energy. So using rainwater harvesting, maybe there's like a biogas generator, biogas digester, in the house that's converting all the compost into energy
Yeah.
and sending it back to the grid,
Yeah.
and solar panels.
Yeah.
So again, like various ways of using parametric architecture and circular economy principles that promote the idea of sustainable living and highlights the importance of having a symbiotic relationship with nature as we live.
Yeah.
It's a really deep topic. It's something that we're all learning ourselves,
Yeah.
and we've got people in this group who can talk about this way more articulately than I ever
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
But that's the vision, is to be able to use all of this knowledge
Yeah.
and manifest end products and services that contributes to this larger vision, right?
Fantastic. Yeah.
So I think it's going to take some time to get more concrete
Yeah.
with these specific examples, and it's a
Yeah.
big aspiration to have.
It's a big aspiration for sure.
Yeah.
But
So-
I think like you have some fantastic ideas though. I think they're going to come to fruition, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that is the hope, and that is the artist struggle.
Yeah.
Is all of us trying to find ways to stay inspired, making short-term commitments with each other, raising enough money based on the hard work we put in, and then being able to rely on that power of community and trust we have to be able to keep on flowing.
Yeah. Let's keep on flowing, man.
Let's keep on flowing.
And so is there any way that we can find you, or like people can find you about your project online, Instagram handles?
Yeah, so we just went live with our website.
Wow.
It's called www.spicetech.xyz. We have our Instagram handle very active right now. We're the
Okay.
Gatekeepers, just welcomed SpiceTech, the entity, and we're planning to go live with a crowdfunding campaign very soon, hopefully November 1st. Like I said, it takes a village to raise a baby. Right now, I'm talking to many bank managers who are helping us figure out bank accounts and things of those nature.
I know. It's
Things
amazing.
behind the scene that people don't get to see when you're running a company or making a long-term project.
Yeah.
And so hopefully all those things will be in order, and we'll be able to go live with our crowdfunding campaign on Indiegogo on November 1st, which will run till the end of the year.
Yes, sir.
And that is when we basically get in performance mode, my friend. We
know.
put on a show based on our hard work, the hard work that this team has done to get as far as it has, and talk about the film, share more trailers for the film, and hopefully there's going to be a bit of a community that's going to help us promote the film. And it would be such a huge help if you guys can pay attention to it, and if you can relate to what we're doing, share it with everybody who you believe will care about this. And the hope is that we can raise just about enough money to be able to make the final cut of feel the flow, which is the short-term focus and target.
We have to feel the flow. We have to make it happen.
That is the aspiration, my friend.
Well, thank you so much for being here, Ashish.
Mhm.
And it's a pleasure, and I hope to do this again.
Same here.
All right.
Signing off,
Signing off.
the Gatekeepers.